Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Throwing right away is Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Now 2nd and 5. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Daniels. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. DJ Reader able to record his 5th sack of the season. And Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Throwing now is Daniels. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least it'll be 4th down. Washington going to send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Diggs with a good footwork. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Lions will take over. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. When you look at this defense, they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season, but boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's gone. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. They'll run for the first time with a speedster, Jahmyr Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Daniels. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd. Robinson up the middle. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Goff. His throw incomplete. You talk about this Washington defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. That's complete to his rookie 2nd-round pick. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And here now the punter, Fox, as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Now the pressure comes and he goes down just inside the 10, back at the 9. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. There's a short one pulled in by Simmett. Just a gain of a couple there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
Third and 19. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, how about this? A fistful of sacks already. We're not even out of the 1st quarter yet. What an incredible start for this defense. If they keep this pace up, they could be looking at an all-time performance.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there. In motion, the tight end. On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second down and 3. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Goff. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Goff to St. Brown for the Detroit first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. Here's Goff. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Here is 3rd and 5. Here's Goff. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 17-yard line. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. In motion goes the tight end. Goff going to move his guys around a bit. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. David Montgomery, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Lions 7.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Daniels. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Alex Anzalone from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Daniels looking to throw. This is swung out to Eckler. Only able to gain a couple there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To the air goes Daniels. Under pressure, and down he goes. Aiden Hutchinson. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 70-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 9. Goff. That is caught by Laporta. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9. Off play action. Here's Goff. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Back to throw. Daniels. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Big yardage that time for Washington. 57 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Looking to throw. Daniels. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Now a 2nd and 2. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
3rd and 2. In motion, the tight end. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
They'll run with Robinson. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Up the middle with Eckler. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, but it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Well, you're down there really close, but just second quarter here. What are you doing?
Well, I know that your offense is looking at the sideline saying, let's go for it, but reluctantly, take them off the field and bring out the field goal kicker. A lot of time left in this game. Get 3 points on the board and go back to work.
Yeah, and you're within striking distance. It's not like you're down 30. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4. And off to Gibbs, headed right here. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
2nd and 10. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he's going to be stopped close to the 1st down marker at Washington's 12-yard line. 43-yard line. 44 yards rushing for him now to this point. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Gibbs will try and pick it up. Gets past one man. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. Gibbs straight ahead. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Another run for Gibbs here. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Now Goff. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Bates' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Just a gain of a yard in what all likelihood will be the final play of the first half. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
No gain on the play there, second down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot. And
what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
Quick toss by Goff is complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now 2nd and 9. Now gone. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, here's Gibbs. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 61 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Gone. A little short pass here taken in by Laporta. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So they'll say no to the 50-yard field goal try. Instead, the offense out there, they're going for it. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They go ahead and snap it. Goff. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand. out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Second and 9. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now a play fake, and it's gone. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that'll hit and go out of bounds, so they'll start just outside their own 40-yard line.
At their own 42-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat, another first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 33. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. And that, nearly picked off. It would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Slot man moves right. Here's Daniels. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. They'll look to throw again. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
In the 3rd quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. And McLaurin, the motion man right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. To throw is Daniels. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A give to Montgomery out of the gun.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give, right side for Gibbs. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Goff now looking to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Second down, and they go back to Gibbs. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Goff now looks to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
The frustration evident there because he couldn't find anyone on 3rd down, and he left no doubt that he was throwing that one away.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will get the lead up to 7. He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will stay a 4-point game. Now, this was still going to be a 1-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Second and 9 now. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
This offense on 3rd down today, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Daniels. They're looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted. And the Lions will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
This is 2nd and 8. Now it's gone. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. 3rd and 3. On the give, here's Gibbs. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Gibbs. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion goes the tight end. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's a 2nd and 9 now from the 29. To throw is Goff. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and just a yard.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over, and here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Escapes the defender. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal, don't necessarily need a touchdown. Operating from the gun, Daniels. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Commanders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, second year in the NFL. I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points and gets him back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Here's 2nd and 7. They go play action. Daniels. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make the play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7. In motion, the tight end. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Goff. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Gibbs straight ahead. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Throw caught by Raymond. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here is 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Going back to Gibbs on 1st down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. In motion goes Raymond. Another run for Gibbs here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And that will be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Now Daniels. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. To the air goes Daniels. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Looking sideline, and he's going to have his man as he was able to walk the tightrope there for the completion. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, Gibbs will get it. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Here's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. Well, Charles, looked like that had to be a mix-up there defensively.
You always question that type of confusion. They actually lost him in the middle of the field, gave him all sorts of room to run, and he took big-time advantage of it. That's an error you just can't make on the defensive side of the ball.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. And not much running room. Down to the 32.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. They'll come up now, 2nd and 9. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The noise is getting deafening. Here's 3rd down and 3. And Gibbs has it. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. Bates' kick is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, They managed the clock exactly right.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. He's got McLaurin. Evades the tackler and now some space. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This is 1st and 10. Back to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Alex Anzalone in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Now a 3rd and 6. He's back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
It's 4th down.
And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. All set up for him right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down. Now a first throw here in overtime. His pressure too strong. Down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Daniels looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Excellent play there on third down. Give him 25 yards.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Throwing now is Daniels. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Brandon, that's a huge completion there. That puts them in field goal range, but let's face it, they don't want 3 here. They want 6. With these overtime rules, a touchdown finishes it off.
Yeah, looking to win it right away. Good to know, though, that they have 3 in their back pocket if they need it. Here's Daniels. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. To throw is Daniels. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. So the game-winning touchdown came through the air in overtime. 4 quarters wasn't enough. We were treated to a really good one, weren't we, partner?
That we were, and I just love being able to be witness to a game like this all the way through. Who's going to win it? We're getting overtime? Great for us. A lot of tension on the field, very tough. Not a surprise it ended with a passing touchdown. That's the way we play in the NFL, but the execution was pretty darn good.
So for Washington, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.